The Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series is proudly brought to you by Sentinel Homes and Hockey New Zealand in association with Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, and Sky Sport, your home for hockey.
Game 2 of the 2021 Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series was as enthralling as international hockey can get. Competitive, skillful and dramatic. It had it all as the Vantage Black Sticks and the Hockeyroos played out a thrilling 2-2 draw. Game 3 is here with the series all locked up. It couldn't be more highly anticipated as the teams go at it here in Palmerston North. And if the quality of the goals today match the ones that Stephanie Kershaw and Mariah Williams scored for the Hockeyroos in Game 2, we are in for a treat. Yes, hello and welcome to Massey University. Game 3 of 4 in the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series between the Vantage Black Sticks and the Australian Hockeyroos, live here on Sky Sport and through the skysportnext YouTube channel, which of course hopefully will be bringing a lot of viewers in from Australia today. Glenn Lama's my name. Cherie Phillips, a former Black Sticks player, is with us for the call again today. And Cherie, conditions, we've got a very typical Manawatu autumn day. It's not cold, it's just nice and pleasant.
Absolutely, it's a perfect day to play some hockey. No wind again, which is very unusual in Palmerston North, so looking forward to seeing some great hockey out there today. Temperatures around 15 degrees, and this is all set up, as I touched on in the introduction, 2 draws, both very tight matches, and we are going to be in for a heck of a match today. As we go to the team lineups for today's clash, as the Australians have rotated 4 changes in their team today, and some interesting changes as well. Back in today, number 8, Georgia Wilson. Number 12, Greta Hayes is playing today. Carrie Somerville back in the team, number 20. And the other 3 players back in: Emily Chalker, number 26, Rachel Lynch, the goalkeeper today, and Laura Barden, number 31. Interesting, the four of the best Australian players of the series so far, Edwina Bone, Steph Kershaw, Courtney Chanel and Jane Claxton, all rotated out today, all being rested, and one of the assistant coaches, Katie Brown, has come in to take control of the team today. So the Australians still working on a few things, working on some combinations. They're here with a very big squad, and others get their chance today. The New Zealand team is looking very solid. Wearing number 1 will be Taryn Davey today. She's back in the team today. 3 other changes. We have Holly Pearson wearing number 27, Julia King 33, and Hope Ralph 34. So New Zealand's team probably quite as strong as it could be. Fran Davies, though, would probably argue nice and strongly about that. She's not playing today, alongside Tyler Lynch, Tessa Jopp and Alia Jakes. So that is the New Zealand team today. New Zealand naming a strong lineup. Australia choosing to rotate Bone, Kershaw, Chanel and Claxton out of their team. What do you make of those Australian changes in particular? Yeah, definitely an interesting choice there. I agree with you. I think that they've been standout players in the last 2 games. So I guess they, with only 2 more games before they both name the Olympic teams, they probably need to be able to see combinations and give everyone a chance. Here come Amber Church and Kelly Hudson again, the umpires for the game. We're delighted that long-term partner of hockey, Sentinel Homes, has joined us as naming rights partner for the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. We'd like to acknowledge too Vantage Windows and Doors, the principal partner of Hockey New Zealand, and the Black Sticks naming rights partner. Hockey New Zealand would also like to acknowledge the support of Computer Concepts Limited, Ford, the driving force behind the Vantage Black Sticks, and Sky Sport, the home for hockey. A quick word on the New Zealand team. Graham Shaw's gone back to a very strong lineup, very similar to game number 1. Cherie, what do you make of that? Yeah, I think, again, he is certainly probably putting out a strong team to see how players are then going to work together. I'm looking forward to, obviously, again, and, Thursday this week is the naming of the team, so you've got to get it right. And, I mean, these are, big decisions to make. So, good, strong team out there again today. Yeah, chances are running out for all these players, with only 16 being named to compete in the Olympics, plus 2 travelling reserves. So, a lot at stake for
these two teams. We've got an excellent crowd coming in here today. We've apparently got a sellout here in Palmerston North, and we couldn't have better conditions as we stand by now for the national anthems of both countries. Starting with Advance Australia Fair, the Australian national anthem. Yes, conditions couldn't be better for this game. Game 3 of the Sentinel Homes series between New Zealand and Australia, and we'll have the start of the match right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
Been holding me back.
has not been kind to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final.
Incredible!
Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
Well, here we go, folks. It's game number 3 of 4 in the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. It was 1-1 between the two teams in game 1, 2-2 in game number 2. What will today's match unfold here on the turf here at Massey University? So Olivia Mary to get things underway. Lovely warm conditions. We've got temperatures around 14, 15 degrees for today's game. It'll be pretty perfect here on the turf as Squib fires it back to Jenna, repeating the news that Edwina Bones, Stephanie Kershaw, Courtney Chanel and Jane Claxton have all been rotated out of the Australian team today. Brooke Peris will captain the team in this match as Australia rotate their captaincy through squad members in this series. And that has gone out for a penalty corner. Kelly Hudson, the umpire there, ruling it must have just glanced a New Zealand leg there, Cherie.
Yeah, just came off a foot there, just right on the circle there. So
Taryn Davey, it looked like it just clipped her, the lace of her boot. Wasn't much contact, but that's the rule of the sport. So here we go with an opportunity for Australia straight off the bat. Early pressure on New Zealand's defence.
Straight down into our end and earning that corner. So let's see what they can do with their corners today.
Penny Squibb and Carrie Somerville are the two players at the top for Australia. Squibb wearing 6, Somerville number 20. There's the injection, and it's going to be Somerville who's going to have a crack, and saved comfortably that time by O'Hanlon. Still there for Rosie Malone, and now Mary's just going to get rid of it and provide some seconds here for that New Zealand defence to get sorted. Australia coming forward into the circle again. Good tackle from Whitelock. Olivia Shannon not starting in this game today. Hope Ralph and Holly Pearson are the starting strikers. Interesting call there by Graham Shaw too, the coach of the New Zealand team, Cherie.
Yeah, again, the rotations are pretty quick, so she'll be on in a few minutes. But yeah, awesome to see some, fresh legs. Those girls missed the last game, so they'll be wanting to certainly step up and show their skills today.
Whitelock wayward with that overhead ball, and Australia get possession again. So no possession, meaningful possession for New Zealand at all so far in this game. It's all been Australia as they look to work it forward again. And this is Peris, who's very tricky with the ball at her stick, and she's won a free hit. Now Taylor, and that's been comfortably cut out by Gunson. And Cadell will now look to secure some control for the Black Sticks. And they take it quickly. Mary's got it. Switches it over to Mickelson, who's got some space here. Pearson, the target of that pass, and she's done well to keep it in. Oh, that's a good tackle from Squibb. But then Pearson continues to work away there. And it's going to be New Zealand ball. Whoa! Now, Amber Church. I don't think there was anything deliberate in there, Cherie. It looked like it was more an accidental trip, wasn't it?
No, just the urgency to get the ball. The players in the way. You want to get the ball going. So, again, just accidental.
Here come Australia. This is Lawton. Excellent run from her. And there's going to be Australian possession here as Williams, one of the goal scorers on Thursday night, game number 2. Flicks it back to Georgia Wilson, who's back in the lineup today, 25 years of age. Jenna. Shannon out there now with Mary at the top there for New Zealand. Jenna throws it straight into Mary. Really interesting to see with no Edwina Bone today. Gives the opportunity for some others to step up in that central defensive position. Such a vital organising role teams have in their lineups these days.
Yeah, really, really important too. That's your centre, is your sort of your whole structure is based around the centre. So having your really, really good players in that middle there to be able to feed the ball in and out is, it's so important.
Well, coaches are always looking for flexibility options when it comes to building squads for major tournaments. And the Hockeyroos going down that path most certainly today here in game number 3, which is interesting because it is a vital game in the series.
So just a different setup there with New Zealand today too. Obviously they've only got the one defender at the back, so they've gone back to a back 3, which should be able to promote one of the defenders sort of further up the field.
Yeah, it looks like Gunson and Whitelock at the back at the moment. No penalty shootouts in the series. That's why those 2 draws have been secured, so no shootouts. Now Australia coming through Wilson. She can't link up there with her teammate, and Paris was one of those players out there alongside Somerville. So New Zealand will get the ball here through Taryn Davey. Here's Gunson. Gunson, of course, a veteran of 2 Olympic Games for the Black Sticks, hoping to get to her 3rd when the team is named very soon. And here comes the Australians through Chalker, who also is a very experienced Olympian. Oh, nice turn. This is Williams into the circle. Deflection is vital, and that's nicely gathered there by Smith. And Mickelson now has the opportunity to run. Looks to feed Smith. Oh, Smith couldn't control it, but Shannon is there. Reverse stick shot, almost tipped in by Julia King. Still there for the Black Sticks maybe. And it's a free hit against New Zealand. Well, exciting in front of the goal mouth there.
Yeah, I thought Julia King might have just had that touch there, but wasn't quite. Just didn't quite make it. Great, that setup there, just into the circle there. That great shot from Olivia Shannon there, early shot away.
Yeah, some wonderful passing it was leading up to that between Mickelson and Smith, wasn't it? Oh, it's been turned over at the back as we come back live here. O'Hanlon forced to come off her line and clear it. New Zealand a little messy at the back there, but they survive as the Hockeyroos come forward again. This is Wilson, great pass. Oh, gee whiz, a chance there, wasn't there too, Cherie?
Boy. Almost managed to connect with that as that ball came back.
So this game heating up now after a bit of a quiet start.
Australia are certainly managing to hold that ball and build up that, and they're attacking 25.
Chalker and Barden now, and now coming forward is Nobbs from that defensive midfield position. Chalker tries to find Williams again.
Yeah.
Williams earns a penalty corner. It's a big, strong player, Mariah Williams, starting to impose herself quite nicely on the series.
It's a good receive there by the Australian player to be able to just tap that ball onto the foot there. It's a good outcomes for Australia in the circle. They've either got the shots away or the corners now. So New Zealand just need to keep that low body position, protect the feet, deny those corners.
So Somerville's still there. She switched over to the right side of the castle now, and it's for Maddie Fitzpatrick who's going to take this one, and it's in. Wasn't a pure clean connection, but Maddie Fitzpatrick has opened the scoring from a penalty corner. Australia lead 1-0. Now, the trap looked okay. Well, it didn't look clean off the naked eye. Maybe it did look pretty clean there, Cherie.
Just looked like Grace got, so it just went to both Grace and Olivia Mary there, and I think they both almost got caught in the line. But good accuracy, good, finding that corner.
Well, Maddie Fitzpatrick opens the scoring with her 17th goal for Australia. This is game number 77 for her. So excellent work from her. Of course, she's on a huge hockey family. Not only is her sister in the current squad at the moment, but their dad, Scott, is a former Kookaburras player. And here is the goal scorer to inbound this one. Great start by the Aussies. As Fitzpatrick looks to try and feed Chalker. Here's Fitzpatrick not timing that cross, and it's going to be New Zealand ball. So pressure on New Zealand here. Although they have come back into the series on game number 1. The Aussies took the lead, remember, with Malone. And then Shannon got the equaliser in that game.
Ooh.
A little untidy from Thompson there, but Cadell will get another opportunity. Hull feeding Katie Dorr. Double teamed. Can Dorr sneak through there? She needed a free hit. That's a good pass. And now Smith lays it off for Dickens. This is nice play. Shannon with a one-touch pass to Kelsey Smith as the Black Sticks flow forward once more. There's a circle penetration from Kelsey Smith, but again the call goes against her. Australia coming back through Nobbs. Sophie Taylor. Not a pure connection that time, so New Zealand will swing into the Australian half once more. Taryn Davey has it, one of the survivors, of course, from the gold medal win for New Zealand on the Gold Coast in 2018 in the Commonwealth Games when they beat Australia 4-1 in that final. Cadell. Dorr. Now Dickens. It's Gunson who's been pushed further up the pitch.
Moving up the midfield there.
Yeah. Now Australia coming through. Amy Lawton. Well, it was a tricky one for Megan Hull to control, but she did well. That was Charleston's pass, and now Cadell looking to feed Dorr. Hope Ralph up high, but that pass didn't have enough gas on it, so it's easily cut out there by Squibb. But Ralph now will take the ball and look to put some pressure on near the top of the circle. Good tackle coming in from the Australians, though, and they've got it away, and Malone has it. Just over 5 minutes to play. Maddie Fitzpatrick, the goal scorer in this game from a penalty corner. And now Jenner. Australia through Malone now. Tries to time the pass for Greta Hayes. Hayes still fighting hard to get it. But Hull has it. Charlton, good pass. Early ball to Cadell. Oh, how's that for a tackle from Renee Taylor?
Good tackle.
Now Australia coming through. Fitzpatrick, Savannah Fitzpatrick into the circle. Good strong tackle coming in from Megan Hull, though, and she's got it in the corner. Megan Hull just waiting for the opportunity to play under a foot of an Australian player. And she's got the free hit.
Done. Tough position to get out of that corner, so well done.
But New Zealand's time in possession is not long as we see the sun come out, which is expected to stay with us for the rest of the afternoon. Don't forget game 3 of the men's series coming up at the conclusion of this match. As Cadell double teamed again. Good feature of this game from an Australian perspective is their pressure on the New Zealand player in possession. Sure, it's been very good so far.
Australia have been working that ball and, you know, really using those first easy options, getting into that circle.
Cadell seeking the safety of the corner.
Just that patience too with their tackling. They're just waiting for that loose ball.
Yeah, their defensive pressure on Thursday night was really impressive. The Australians really hustling New Zealand all the way through the game. Here's a bit of space for Taylor. Nice pass. Into the circle comes Lawton, but it's cut out by Hull. Hull again. Will work it away, and it's back for a 16-yard spot hit. Well, Territory has just been dominated by Australia in this first quarter.
They certainly have. I feel like they've had more possession of the ball. They've just held the ball in longer periods than what we have. We haven't had much ball yet. When we have had it, we seem to have just turned it over just too easily.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that possession stat for you a little bit later on in the game. Now here's an opportunity for New Zealand. Free hit for them on the halfway, in fact into the Australian half. Sam Charlton. Now Davey in space. Will she crash it in? Taryn Davey. Just a little flick as she gets a bit of a cheap penalty corner there, quite frankly, as Caitlin Nobbs wondered what the heck happened there, Cherise. It just dribbled onto her foot.
Those are often the worst ones. No one around here. Oh, just a missed trap.
They never look good on the replay, those ones, do they? So
first penalty corner to New Zealand.
Now New Zealand's penalty corner execution, how would you describe it so far? A bit mixed.
Yeah, Friday's night's game, we got that the one drag flick. So interesting to see what they look for.
Yeah, now. Dickens, who scored it, is at the top there alongside Marion. It's going to be Dickens. She tries to sweep it. It's been kicked away by the keeper. Still there for New Zealand. And it is just wide. Mickelson was right there. Some good goalkeeping, though, from Ashley Wells for Australia. And they survive. Kind of just fell for Mickelson, and Mickelson gobbles those up usually. Wasn't to be on that occasion. Wilson, good work from her as he cutbacks infield, but Charlton's got it. Charlton delays the pass nicely.
Good patience there on the ball.
Good play from her as Cadell finds Ralph. And Ralph, in fact, it's Mary over there. He's not going to muck around. Dickens will seek the safety of Kayla Whitelock. Gunson, Davey calling for it, but Gunson goes aerial and she's, almost kicked it out on the full.
Too big.
Here come Australia again. Free hit earned by Brooke Peris. Squib over to Taylor. Australia have everyone inside the New Zealand half at the moment, other than, in fact now they do, as Somerville comes into the New Zealand half, but Whitelock is in possession. It's been a real feature of the game so far, just New Zealand struggling to get out of their own quarter with any authority at all. Peris. And New Zealand just get rid of it. I touched on 4 New Zealand squad members who were in the team back in 2012. There's 2 in the Australian team that are going for their 3rd Olympics. That's Kate Jenner and Emily Chalker. Well, in fact, Jenner is going for a 2nd. She didn't make the Rio team, so it'll be interesting to see who makes the squad out of the Australian veterans as we see the end of the first quarter, which has been a very good one for the Hockeyroos. 1 goal in it from a penalty corner to Maddie Fitzpatrick. They've dominated territory and possession as well. It's quarter time here in Palmerston North, and it's Australia leading by 1-0. I think one of the real features of both the men's and the women's series so far, Sheree, has been the organisation of the Australian teams. They've been super prepared. They look well drilled, and they all look very clear on what their role is and how they want to play.
Yes, which is obviously comes down from your coaching team too. They certainly they know where they're going. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They've got, I've caught up with a couple of the Australian girls, and they seem to have a very good understanding of one another, and they've brought almost 2 teams with the players, so they're certainly putting their best out there.
Graham Shaw here. Well, the whiteboard is out, but it looks like more of a motivational type speech as we look at the highlights here. In fact, the stats, and I'm surprised actually on reflection that possession stat isn't higher in Australians' favour, but they've already had double the circle entries and, of course, 2 penalty corners which they have converted, one of them into a goal.
New Zealand have certainly had a couple of good opportunities as well with both of those left and right corner that could have potentially been goals. So certainly they've had chances.
Here is the goal again. Watch number 10 here, Fitzpatrick. Kind of just ballooned off her stick at a very awkward height.
Yeah.
And it was not able to be defended by the New Zealand team. So it wasn't a powerful shot, it was more an awkward one, which kind of was, in the end, it kind of drifted down a pipe, didn't it? Without hitting the sides.
Yeah.
Second quarter's underway, so lots for New Zealand to think about at the end of the first quarter as Liz Thompson's in possession. One thing we'll know is Australia will work hard off the ball for this entire match. They'll be relentless, putting pressure on the New Zealand team as Davey looks to find Cadell, and she wins a free hit. Australia push their entire team back behind the ball now. There's Davey swinging it in, and there's a little tip forward by Holly Pearson. Didn't go to a black stick though. And now away comes Australia, and they've got space in the midfield here.
That space coming through that middle there.
Williams tries to find Hayes, who went on another journey. So Thompson, an easy interception for her. So slight communication breakdown there between Hayes and Williams. Unusual to see. The squib brings it down to the carpet nicely. Davey does a good job. She's been hassled there again by some excellent Australian defence. As Chalker now looks to put pressure on Gunson. Davey once again. Gunson looks a little uncertain as to what to do, but Davey has it now.
It's good pressing by Australia. They are making us have to pass to exactly where they want us to pass, New Zealand to pass to. So I think that's intentional by the Australian girls there. Yeah,
it seems like they're really hurrying the New Zealand players to make a decision, putting them out of their comfort zone a touch, which is exactly what you want to see when you're not in possession. Gunson is going to have to take it again.
Good to see those overheads being used today. I think that's been lacking probably in the last 2 games, just with maybe the lack of play. So good to see those being thrown back in there again in this game today.
But again, some wonderful pressure by Chalker there has forced the error off Gunson's stick.
I think I spoke too early then.
Always the way, Cherie. We've all been caught out in those circumstances many times. Good hustle there from Ralph. That was good work from her. Taking a leaf out of the Australian playbook there on defence. Williams tries to create space. Whitelock though. Fitzpatrick, good work from her. Now Williams has got Whitelock under pressure, and Thompson too. Here come the Aussies again. This is Hayes. And now the call goes against Greta Hayes. Whitelock passing to Smith. Back of the stick there. Off that Australian player Lawton, so New Zealand have more possession. Gunson sweeps it across to Smith. Good pass. Smith does the same to Shannon. Shannon, front foot running ball into the circle. Shannon! And it's been deflected away by Wells again. But that's what you want to see. You want to see Olivia Shannon in space to have a crack.
Yeah, that's it. Interchanging too with Kelsey coming through into the centre there and creating that space for Olivia Shannon behind.
Charlton gets playing away again from a long corner. Now Shannon will crash it in. Looking for a little deflection was Holly Pearson in the goal mouth. Didn't quite get there. Kelly Hudson says it's New Zealand ball as Whitelock takes it quickly. Charlton with her. Charlton sweeps it across. Pearson now in possession. Good tackle coming in though from Somerville. And she wins a free hit and takes it quickly. That's a great pass. Now, Rosie Malone's got it. Malone just pushing it for Lawton, but she didn't have the angle on the run. So in the end, Thompson. There's the chance. Just take a breath, but she's forced right to the corner. Charlton. And it's taken quickly by Smith. New Zealand feel like they're coming into the game a bit more now?
They do seem to be settling a bit and holding the ball and having just a little bit more urgency too with taking those quick free hits, having more purpose in what they're doing.
Here's Dorr. Has lost it. Australia take it quickly. Now Australia through Lawton. Yeah. This is Chalker. Good pass.
Good vision there.
Oh, good tackle from Thompson. That little touch from Chalker just proved a little too strong. And now Mickelson, who's been not utilised so much in this game so far, has got Shannon in space. Julia King up. So is Mary. Shannon tries to muscle away past. Great pass to Mickelson. Mickelson into the circle here. Play on's the call by Amber Church, the umpire, and Australia come away again through Malone. Oh, big call there from Amber Church. She reckoned it went out. I'm not sure about that, Cherie. That's 50-50.
Certainly Australia didn't think so.
Malone off her stick. That one wasn't in doubt. There's Dickens. Can call it back to Megan Hull. Whitelock. Here's Hull. Katie Dorr. Oh, the pass not finding Dickens. Easily cut out by Malone, and here she comes. Rosie Malone. There are 5 Black Sticks players back. 4 Australians coming forward. One of them's Taylor. Taylor tries to find some space. Still there in the circle. Dickens. Whitelock. Hull. Desperately trying to stop it for New Zealand. They've found a way through. Malone saved by O'Hanlon. Still there. O'Hanlon again. Good keeping from Grace O'Hanlon.
Yeah, some great saves there.
Some good keeping. As we see a replay of that. And there's O'Hanlon with that safe left palm, but the pressure is still on. No, the Australians have turned it over. 8 minutes to go until the end of the half. Australia leading 1-0 through Maddie Fitzpatrick. Game 3 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. First 2 games ending in draws. And this one's proving just as competitive as the other 2 as Malone. Can't get it through to a teammate in Hull. That's Mickelson with a lovely little control touch. Oh, great ball. She's threaded the needle. This is King.
Yeah.
And Julia King, what a terrific pass from Stacey Mickelson.
Oh, amazing vision there for that pass.
Well, field goals in hockey don't get any better than that. Julia King, who's been pushed forward, she's a very good defender and a very solid midfielder. Yeah. And there's King off the reverse side, nailing that one.
That's a fantastic finish. You know, often the one-on-ones often can be quite difficult to execute, but great movement, just moving that goalie off the line, and then what an awesome finish.
It's really interesting to see Julia King being used as a striker in this series. We've touched on only 16 players being picked in the Olympic squad plus 2 reserves, which means you've got to have flexibility in your squad, and they're looking for something in Julia King, aren't they? Yeah,
I would say so. I would have to think that, you know, Julia King, I've only really ever known her to be more of a defensive player, but so versatile. I mean, look at that. That's a solid striker there. So well done to that. That could potentially help with that position in the Olympic team. So
well, and it also could help obviously solidify her chances of being picked.
Definitely.
So Julia King rewarding the selectors and the coaches there. They asked her to be a striker, and of course the number one role of a striker is to put the ball in the goal, and she did that superbly there. But I can't again emphasise enough how good that pass was to her.
To be able to see that player up there, good vision and good positioning from Julia King too.
So will this energise New Zealand as Cadell looks to come forward again? Paris right back in the corner. She's the captain of Australia today. Paris, she's turned it over. Thompson, she just couldn't quite give it to Ralph, but Thompson's muscling it in. Pearson. That's Holly Pearson. Good Taranaki stock is Holly Pearson. Julia King, by the way, that was her 9th goal for New Zealand. Oh, what a tackle from Smith. Oh, and then the mistimed pass. Oh, some good work from Kelsey Smith, not quite getting the icing on the top though. Here's Pearson again, making a nuisance of herself. Katie Dorr. She'll call it back to Dickens. Now Dickens hits a pretty decent ball to Gunson, and the control just wasn't quite there again, Cherie.
No, just that tight ball control, just slipping away.
So Australia again though, in a little tricky spot as Paris will get a free hit now with the ball coming off Ralph out of play. But New Zealand pressing high now, Cherie. They've got 4 players inside that Australian quarter. And here's Ralph, one of them, looking to put pressure on.
Almost got it there. Just that last tackle.
Now Australia again under pressure. Good pressure coming from King, from Ralph Cadell. Gunson playing higher up the pitch for the meantime.
Yeah, good pressure there from the New Zealand front line there. Working hard, trying to force that turnover.
Paris. Now Somerville. Well, Australia haven't had much ball. That's a beautiful pass from Somerville. Long pass has been strung together here by the Hockeyroos, but Gunson has got the ball back, and now Davey. Whoops. She mistook an Australian for a New Zealander there. Force a bit of tidy up coming here from Taryn Davey. Now Katie Dorr. And now Dickens. Kelsey Smith tries to find some space. That's deflected off an Australian stick. Play continues. Here's Mary. Shannon is right there. Oh, she's guided it wide. Big chance for New Zealand to take the lead there. No one there, and that only must have been the edge of a credit card wide there. Shannon couldn't quite get the angle on it. What's happened here, Cherie? New Zealand dominating all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it seems Australia are allowing New Zealand girls to have free players up in there in that defensive, in their defensive 25. So they'll be needing to make some changes there.
But they've only conceded the 1 goal. 3.5 to go until half time. Maddie Fitzpatrick, the goal scorer for Australia from a penalty corner in the first quarter. The equaliser from Julia King. And that one must have hit a bump in the turf, surely. It came right over Ella Gunson's stick. Watch out, here's Williams, who's a strong player in the circle for Australia. Williams still with the ball. Now Hull. And it's out for a long corner. So just a little untidy there from New Zealand. Gets Australia onto the attack again. Charlton with a vital deflection there, and Cadell. New Zealand have a chance here to counter. That ball from Rose Cadell. Touch too strong. But it gives the New Zealand team the chance to apply some pressure in the Australian quarter if they can. Excellent crowd here at Palmerston North. Hope you're enjoying it too here on Sky Sport. The Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. We'll have the men's game coming up this afternoon, and then we'll be back here on Tuesday night for the 4th and final games of the series as Lawton comes forward now for Australia. Great pass into Malone. Good tackle coming in from Davey, and that's gone against Malone.
Good strong tackle there from Taryn. That was, keeping a stick down there and obviously protecting her feet. Ending up with the free hit.
Well, a vital 80 seconds coming up before half-time here. Can either of these teams take a one-goal lead before the end of this first half as Cadell? This is Shannon. Plenty of Australians back this time, though. And one of them did a really good job, and that was Sophie Taylor, in their space behind that New Zealand wave, which was coming forward. Savannah Fitzpatrick. Now Malone once more. Taylor just forced to put the foot down just a touch. And unfortunately just a touch untidy there from Laura Barden, and it's been turned over. Gunson gives one for Mary to chase. Free hit will go against her. Squibb. Here's Lawton. Wilson. 30 seconds to go until the break. Australia would like it a bit further down the pitch, so maybe they can crash it or cross it in. Maybe look for a deflection. Now's the opportunity perhaps as Nobbs fires it over. Two players in the circle. There goes the crash ball. And it's gone out off an Australian stick. So New Zealand looks like they will survive that potential onslaught there in these last few seconds of the first half. And that will be the end of the first half. Again, it's been another enthralling half of hockey between these two teams. Gee, they're evenly matched.
Very
1-1
even.
it was in game one, 2-2 in game two. Now it's 1-1 here at half-time with Maddie Fitzpatrick and Julia King, the goal scorers. It is 1-1 in game number 3.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more, and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
And holding me back.
History has not been kind to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final.
Incredible!
Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
Half-time here at Massey University in the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series, the third of 4 games between the two women's teams. New Zealand won, Australia won at half-time. Good enthusiastic crowd here in Palmerston North for this series. We've had excellent attendances. sure to have a really competitive second half coming up once again between these two teams who have been so evenly matched. Here are the stats, and I say evenly matched. Boy, it really doesn't get any closer than that, does it? Those circle entries have really tightened up in that second quarter as New Zealand enjoyed more possession. So much possession, in fact, they've now evened out that possession statistic. And still, no penalty corners in that quarter at all for either team, with all the penalty corners coming in the first quarter so far. We'll have some reaction from the coaches in just a moment, but they're just continuing their halftime talks at the moment as we look at some highlights. And here are the goals. Maddie Fitzpatrick, number 10, from a penalty corner, just kind of ballooned off her stick at an awkward height, and Olivia Merry, number 4 there, just couldn't get a good stick on it, and O'Hanlon slightly caught out of position. There's a scored there, the Australians, to take the lead 1-0. That came in the first quarter, and then that pass, well, that was just a gem of a pass, and beautifully finished from Julia King, who equalised the scores. That pass there, that angle there, really illustrates how good that ball was from Stacey Mickelson. And I love the way Julia King created space for herself to finish off that opportunity. There were more opportunities too for the Vantage Black Sticks. They weren't able to take them. So the Australians were under pressure in that second quarter, but only conceded 1 goal. Don't forget, we're delighted that long-term partner of hockey, Sentinel Homes, has joined us as naming rights partner for the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. We'd also like to acknowledge too Vantage Windows and Doors, the principal partner of Hockey New Zealand and Black Sticks naming right partner. Hockey New Zealand would also like to acknowledge Computer Concepts Limited, Ford, the driving force behind the Vantage Black Sticks, and Sky Sport, the home for hockey. And of course, one of the reasons we're here in Palmerston North is they're playing on a polytan turf. This is the same surface that will be played at the Tokyo Olympic Games, so both teams getting some good further experience on this particular turf. It's interesting just diving into those stats just a touch more. The circle entries are very even across the Australian and New Zealand teams. They're not really targeting, it seems, one particular side of those circle entries. Very even across all three, which suggests they're comfortable coming from any direction, both of these two teams. As both teams get their last instructions, or their final instructions, before we get the second half underway. And it's been such a to and fro series, which has been a really encouraging, well, it's been just a joy to watch. Australia, though, reminding you that they're down on a bit of experience today, with their coaches deciding in this third game to give others a chance. So no Jane Claxton today, no Courtney Chanel, even though it would have only been her third game today in the Australian colours. She's been a real live wire in the first two games. Stephanie Kershaw too, really influential in that second match. And no Edwina Bone in the heart of that Australian defence today. So others getting their opportunity as they push for selection. Remember, the Australian women's team have brought a full complement of 27 players to New Zealand, but only 16 players will feature on the turf at Tokyo. There'll be 2 non-playing reserves in each squad as well. So there's going to be some good players in this Australian team. Well, there will be, in fact, 9 of them that won't get a look in at all for Tokyo out of the 27 that are here. The naming of the Vantage Black Sticks for both the men's and the women's teams have been locked in as well. I think we're going to get those announced in the next 10 days. And then they'll be on the plane to Perth to play Australia again in some Pro League matches coming up in Perth later on next month. And as far as we're aware, that'll be the last matches for both the teams prior to the start of the Olympic Games in Japan, with the first games coming on, I think, July 24. So We're standing by now for some halftime reaction. Graham Shaw, the New Zealand coach, is not too far away. But first up, we're going to get some reaction now from a Hockeyroos camp. And we're down to Cherie Phillips.
So Katrina, a good start to the game today. What's your focus for the second half?
Yeah, look, on our start, it's been probably the best start that we've had in the competition, so really pleased with that. Looking to follow up some of those things in the second half. Our ball speed around the field, our outletting has been really consistent, and our pressing of the New Zealand team is going well for us, so looking to continue those two things.
You've had some pretty good composure and transferring the ball through the midfield there. Are you going to work on this finishing in the attack in 25?
Yeah, always for outcomes. That's definitely something that we want to continue to work on and making sure that we're getting shots on goal when we got our opportunities.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, we are the Hockeyroos. Let's get now some thoughts from the New Zealand, the Vantage Black Sticks coach, Graham Shaw. He is with Cherie.
So Graham, a bit of a shaky start there in that first quarter, but second quarter they definitely upped the intensity, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't start too bad. It just as the second, third, fourth minute, we started to kind of drift out of the game a little bit, or poor connections coming out of our left-hand corner, their right-hand side, just gave them a few opportunities. But yeah, as you said, we definitely upped the speed a little bit in our connections a little bit in the second quarter, but we need to play better. We need to connect a little bit better. We need to play with better structure and bring the quality we know we can bring. So yeah, looking for that in the second half.
Okay, good luck for the second half.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Here we are, Graham Shaw, the Vantage Black Sticks coach. Can New Zealand continue the momentum they built in the second quarter? It's a hard one to answer, that one. Gee, that's a hard one to answer, because these teams have really struggled to continue momentum. It's because they're talented squads, talented players. As Holly Pearson steals one for New Zealand. This is Mary. There's 6 Australians back in there, so Mary's got a lot of traffic to get through. Too much, in fact, as it's been picked up there by Sophie Taylor, and it's coming back to a 16-yard hit for the Hockeyroos. 1-1 the score at half-time. As we get into the second half now. Australia looking to try and stop that New Zealand momentum, as we see Liz Thompson. Whitelock, oh, it snuck under her stick. Look out, here comes Brooke Pearce. Pearce into the circle. Pearce, penalty corners conceded. Well, Rose Cadell was really caught in no man's land there, with all of a sudden it opening up for Brooke Pearce down this right-hand flank. Cadell really had no option there but to concede the penalty corner, and Australia will get the first opportunity. Brooke Pearce, the captain for Australia today, all of a sudden finding herself wide open. And now it is a penalty corner. Third of the game. And again, it's Fitzpatrick. And Sophie Taylor's come up to be at the top of the castle. It's going to be Taylor, in fact, as it dribbles in, and it's not hit particularly well, but there's the save. With Georgia Barnett out there now. In fact, O'Hanlon's still there, and it's going to be New Zealand possession. Well, joining us in the commentary is Fran Davies, one of the players not playing for the Black Sticks today. G'day, Fran. Yeah, not too bad. Actually, I'll say that again. Hello, Fran.
Hello.
Yes, we want you sounding at your best, Fran. Yeah? We'll get some thoughts from Fran in just a moment. There's a nice little interception there from Charlton Pearson. Oh, Ralph, not aware. Oh, in the end it worked out okay, but then New Zealand turn over the ball. Fran, you're not playing today. I hope you haven't got another problem with your hand, have you?
No, hand's all good. Just a rest day today.
Good one, yeah. If you're not sure, Fran didn't play the North-South series recently because of a broken hand, but you'll be loving being back playing now?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good being back alongside the girls.
And playing some hockey. No more COVID for the meantime, eh? Let's hope that continues. Cadell. Nobbs. And now here comes the Australians again. How have you found the series? It's been real hard to get a read on it, Fran. It's been so kind of even, but there's been a lot of momentum kind of shifts in games too.
Yeah, I think for the first game it was kind of just see where we're at. We hadn't seen each other play, haven't got any new footage, so just see how each team brings it. First game was pretty even. I think we definitely dominated a lot, and then going into the second game, I think Australia definitely came up and brought a lot more energy and dominated us more.
Mary Oh, good pass. Cadell now in space. Hope Ralph and Pearson are up there too. But there's 4 Australians back as Ralph maybe just forced to wait for some reinforcements into the circle. And the Australians come away with it again. And now there's pace and space again for Paris. Down this right flank, Gunson trails her back. Paris, who's really good with the ball at her stick, comes into the circle. Thompson is going to have to calmly clear it away, but Australia will keep the pressure on. Yeah, it was a funny game, that one, because New Zealand actually led 2-0 in the second game, didn't they? But the Australians didn't feel like they were any out of it. Did you kind of have that sense as well in that game?
No, I think it was still pretty evenly matched. I think we just struggled outletting a bit, and they put a lot of pressure on us in the pockets, and we just made silly little mistakes and just gave it back to them. And then obviously the 2 goals came straight from the pocket when we had the ball. So we've definitely looked over the footage, and hopefully we can work on that today.
Indeed. And do you feel we're seeing some improvement from the New Zealand team today?
Yeah, I think just at the start of the game we stepped back a bit and Aussie brought a lot more energy, but I think our coaches have definitely told us to bring a lot more energy, and yeah, hopefully the outlet we can work from there, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
And how are the lungs, Fran? I need to ask you that question because, you guys haven't played international hockey for a while. How are you feeling after finishing up the other day?
Yeah, I think we were actually a bit worried. We didn't know where we would be, who would take it out top, but I think we've definitely worked hard over the last couple of months on our fitness and speed, and I think we're all handling it all pretty well.
That's good. That's good. Of course, one more game coming on Tuesday, and then I guess you're back playing inter-squad games before you play Australia again after the Olympic team's named?
Yeah, so we have a rest week after this week, and then the team's selected, and then that will get announced the following week, I think, to the public, and then yeah, it's all on from there. And we have a test series. Pro League starts up again in Australia, Perth, so that'll be exciting as well.
Well, exciting times to look forward to. I'll let you get back to enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Fran. Fran Davies, folks, one of the Black Sticks players not playing today as Australia come forward again. And now this is Chalker. Chalker on the ball right in the corner. Somerville coming forward to provide an option for her. Now Lawton and Nobbs. Sweeps it across. And the Australians still in the circle now as Mickelson tries to save the day for New Zealand, but it's dribbled onto her ankle. And it's going to be another penalty corner. Australia starting the third quarter with a bit of a zip in their stride. And Sheree Phillips back with us. It's those penalty corners can be frustrating on occasions. I just feel like those 2 that New Zealand have conceded, maybe not. Well, they just come a bit too easily.
Yeah, they certainly they shouldn't be getting the corners that easily. So again, it's just our body position within that circle and protecting our feet.
Here's the penalty corner. It's going to be Squibb who's going to have a crack, and again it's saved by O'Hanlon. Again, that's it, just at a good comfortable height for the keeper to slot it away. So all the Black Sticks players back in their quarter apart from Julia King. Just in case there's a turnover like there was just then. It's Hull and it's Thompson over there. Thompson's gone through 3 defenders, and now Dawes picked up the loose ball. And Dawes just worked the free hit nicely there for New Zealand. Hull. Now this pressure on the ball carrier worked very well for Australia in the first quarter, and they've forced the error there again.
It's the game plan of Australia. You know, they wait till they're on that one person at the back, and then they push up and force it out wide, creating that turnover.
I guess if there's one thing maybe that the Australians haven't done too much so far in this game, Sheree, is actually create something from the field. Most of if you actually think back, their best opportunities have been penalty corners. Maybe this one's coming now. Oh no, there's just wondering if there might be a deflection there from Williams. But the field opportunities from the field have definitely been in New Zealand's favour in this game.
Yes, and New Zealand definitely look at their best when they're in behind, in the space, getting that depth right up the field, and that's where New Zealand are dangerous.
Dickens. Target of that one is Smith. That's lovely control from Kelsey Smith, but in the end it's been comfortably taken away, and now Australia have the opportunity. Williams has gone out wide. Chalker was sweeping it back in, but there was no one there. Oh, Williams. Zealand a bit lucky there, but in the end, Mary's got it. King up high, Shannon, now Cadell. Will Cadell go to King? Yes, she does. King reverses it across, but it's been lifted.
Just slightly dangerous there on that cross. As you're going into the circle, it's got to be away from players if it's going to be slightly raised.
But you don't mind that, I guess, if you're a coach. Okay, King's maybe timing of that hit wasn't the best, but, you know, at least it's decisive play at the front.
Yep, being aggressive, make a decision, make that pass.
As we like to say, give it a crack. Here's Davey. Davey tries to thread it between those two Australian players. Shannon now putting pressure on Somerville, but Lawton is there to help her Hockeyroos buddy. Lawton now being hassled by King and by Smith. Now Somerville under pressure. Oh, I think that just touched Lawton's foot. Good pressure by those New Zealand front players.
Good patience from New Zealand there, just waiting and forcing that turnover.
Davey goes back to Hull. Hull deflected off an Australian stick. It's in the circle. Shannon is there. There's a shot. And Charlton's earned a penalty corner. Well, it doesn't matter how it gets into the circle sometimes, but if it gets in.
Just get that ball on the goal, force the goalkeeper to make a save. And again, there's the error, which is, as you can see, the ball just comes off a foot.
Those ones, they just
Bobby
bounce
ones.
up kind of very slowly.
Yeah.
Can be really, really awkward to deal with for a defensive team.
They're often the tough ones to save are those bobbly ones, the mishit ones.
So second penalty corner now to New Zealand. Mickelson's not on the pitch at the moment, so it's going to be Taryn Davey to inject this one. Hull and Merry at the top. There goes Davey, sweeping it across to Megan Hull. Oh, it's not trapped cleanly by Charlton. Now Hull and Merry. And it's been guided, still there for New Zealand. Still there. Here's Merry again, trying to get it to Katie Dorr. It's into the keeper. What a mess that is. Here is Cadell. It's still there. Now Cadell looking for a penalty corner in the very least, and Australia are going to clear it away. Oh, wow.
Wow, I was right.
Here's Shannon now with her back to the goal though, so she's going the wrong way, and now she's being tackled, and Australia, can they counter? That's good play from Dickens, just playing it into the foot there of Savannah Fitzpatrick to get the ball back in to New Zealand's possession. Davey. Hull across to Dickens. She tries to guide it past Fitzpatrick, can't do so. And now Chalker is up there. If Fitzpatrick can get it to Chalker. Dickens is left sprawled on the turf. Wilson. Here's Chalker. Chalker, Hull, doing a good job there, just marking her, and Dickens will calmly give it to Rose Cadell. Cadell, Mary flicks a nice little pass to Pearson, one touch pass to King. Oh, that was well read by the defence though. Maddie Fitzpatrick was back with a vital interception. Now Stacey's back out there, Stacey Mickelson. Cadell is coming forward, here's a shot, Cadell, and it's rebounded off the foot of Fitzpatrick. Penalty corner, excellent play once again from Mickelson to find the open player.
Yeah, for going from side to side like that really quickly, it's often shifting the defence and creating those spaces for those players. You can see there, Rose Cadell wide open, so good vision on the pass.
And just when Mickelson comes on, just that little bit of urgency is all of a sudden there, isn't it? In this New Zealand lineup.
She offers that change of direction really quick, being able to just transfer that ball.
So another penalty corner, and Mickelson is back on now to inject this. Dickens and Mary. It's going to go to Dickens. And it's come off the body of number 20. Carrie Somerville, so it's another penalty corner. I just wondered whether for a moment whether she got a stick in, in front of it.
It looked like a stick, but obviously it's perhaps ricocheted off her stick onto her body.
So another penalty corner as Mickelson set to go here again. This one's Mary. Saved by the keeper, put in! Olivia Shannon! In fact, is it Gunson? It's Ella Gunson who's got a goal. Ella Gunson. Wow, Johnny on the spot. Ella Gunson. And there is a second goal for New Zealand. What a great shot here from Mary. Got all of that. And she snuck it under Gunson. Oh, if the keeper had just stayed on the ground there. Well, Mary, it was comfortably safe. The keeper was down. But as she got up, she created the hole. She created the hole. And Ella Gunson gets a rare goal in a New Zealand jumper. This is game number 223 for her. And that's just her 11th goal.
There we go. It's a lot of games. Good commitment though, you know, that sliding in, being able to just get it before the keeper managed to get onto her feet.
Wow, that was Rachel Lynch, who's out there now for Australia. Just creating that open corridor, which Gunson gratefully accepted. Thompson. Great little interception there from Fitzpatrick. That's Savannah Fitzpatrick, earns a free hit, takes it quickly. Lawton has Williams ahead of her. Haven't seen too much of Mariah Williams in this game. Now could be the time for her to pull the trigger though. Charlton though with a vital stick, and it's going to be New Zealand ball as Whitelock looks downfield and now asks Hope Ralph to put his fastest boots on. And Taylor's going to shatter this one back, but is forced to play it. And it is going to be Australian ball. Hope Ralph not convinced that was Australian ball, but that's the call from Kelly Hudson, the umpire.
Umpires are always right.
They are. As you learned yesterday, Sheree playing. Enough said on that one. Here's Mickelson coming forward. Here's Mickelson coming forward into the circle. Pearson looking for a shot, but it's cleared away. Australia take no risks that time. And Whitelock couldn't control it. Now Williams has picked up the loose ball. But it's 2-on-3 as Savannah Fitzpatrick tries to find Williams again, and it was just behind her. So New Zealand have got all the space over there. It's Pearson and it's Davey. Davey with a one-touch pass. New Zealand trailed 1-0 at the end of the first quarter. They now lead 2-1. Pearson trying to win the ball for the Black Sticks. She's got a free hit. Davies going to come forward and take this. Pearson drifts a bit wide. And now Australia forced to retreat into the corner, but they've got out of it. Oh, it's good stick skills there from Malone.
It's well played to get out of that corner.
But there's pressure still on the Australian team here. Chalker, nice touch. Australia coming forward. That's Williams chasing. What a great ball to her. Nobbs and Chalker is up. There's the early ball and Chalker scrambling for it. Can't quite get there. But a lovely breakout attack there from the Hockeyroos.
Yeah, to it almost created something from nothing, you know, down that deep corner to eventually almost getting the shot on goal. So that's a good build-up.
Here's Davey and Gunson, the goal scorer.
Australia just falling away there. They're not really putting any pressure on at the moment, which is quite different to what they've sort of played last quarter. They were sort of pressing quite hard.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've just dropped back a little bit, and New Zealand just happy to soak up a bit of time as we come towards the end now of the third quarter. Mickelson squeezes between two defenders. Here's Mickelson to the circle's edge. Brilliant run. Oh, and a penalty corner. Stacey Mickelson at her best.
That's what we like to see from the New Zealand Black Sticks, being able to get in behind, beat that player, get in behind. They're create that space, and a good outcome there.
Touch of rain here at Massey University. We've got a bit of a sun shower at the moment.
Beautiful rainbow there.
Yeah, lovely little rainbow on the back of the stadium. Hopefully one of our very good camera operators will get the opportunity, but it's hard, isn't it? Because it's a very fast-moving game. You have to follow the ball. And this is what we're here for. We're not here for the rainbow, Cherie. We're here for the action. As Mickelson is going to inject this penalty corner, and it's going to be Mary again. And it's saved by Lynch. Gunson, and they're trying for another one. Or was it Smith? Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah. That's dangerous. And a player's been connected there. It looked like it might have been Kate Jenner. It is Kate Jenner. Bit of concern here for her, but she seems to be okay.
Good defence from Australia there. I think they probably expected that it was always the same identical shot again, looking for that to get the rebound there. So well done and good clearance there.
Taylor. That's a great overhead to Chalker, but Whitelock played it onto a foot. That was a nice experience play there from Kayla Whitelock. All part of the day's work for her. Taylor, good control. We're down to the last 10 seconds, so Australia going to have to cook it up on high here to get an opportunity before time expires. And that's Smith. He's been having a very good series, Kelsey Smith. Another great quarter of hockey between these two New Zealand and Australian women's teams. There is the rainbow. 2-1 it is to New Zealand. One goal in that quarter. It was to Ella Gunson. There she is, Ella Gunson. As I touched on, doesn't often get on the score sheet because she's a defender. 11th goal in 223 games. But it's all ahead now for the Australians. Just going through my notes here. In fact, Gunson didn't go to Rio. She's went to London, but not Rio. And here is the goal again. Mary, good strike there. Anticipated by Lynch, but then Gunson just got in there.
Yeah, good following up for that rebound there.
Watch number 12 on the left there. Yeah, she is diving for the ball. Ella Gunson giving New Zealand the lead for the first time in the match. And this, of course, could be a vital match in this four-match series with the first two games being drawn. Here's some of the stats. Possession now favouring Australia once again, but only just. And those circle entries continue to close up. And now more penalty corners for New Zealand. In fact, they had 4 in that quarter. With one of their goals, of course, coming from that penalty corner situation. Mickelson, I love the influence of her in this game. That beautiful pass to create the goal for Julia King. And then that run into the circle to create the penalty corner.
Yeah, and that's what Stacey is good at. You know, she's got those amazing tight skills and the ability to beat a player, 2 players, 3 players all at once. It's amazing to watch.
So one last quarter here for Australia. You don't count them out, folks. They are more than capable of coming back into this game. So New Zealand will want a very good quarter here to close this game out. And they know they're going to be fully challenged in these last 15 minutes. Don't forget, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we've got the New Zealand-Australia Game 3 of the men's series. Australian men, the Kookaburras, lead 2-0 in that series, having won the first 2 games. Now Wilson coming forward. Charlton. Solid tackle from her, and she's just going to play the territory game.
Yeah.
I like it.
Get back up into their attacking half. Reset the structure, and then go from there.
So New Zealand can set up their defensive play. Mary, Pearson, Ralph, in that second group, Charlton and Cadell. Nice pass right across to the other side of the field. Love that play. And now Mickelson forced to defend. Whitelock a bit higher up the pitch as Lawton Tries to use her pace. Lovely little ball onto the circle's edge. Here's a chance for Australia. Oh, I just wondered whether number 32, Savannah Fitzpatrick, should have had a crack there, Cherie.
I think she should have. I think she was trying to connect with her other player that was coming through, but I think the shot there was open.
Lovely ball, and Fitzpatrick, she had a swing right there.
Great receive too.
Just before Cadell flashed into the frame. Well, those are the small moments, aren't they, in sport? It's just snap decisions you've got to make.
Just that decision-making under pressure.
21, there we go. Now it's out to the Australians again to get another circle penetration. Hayes with a nice little ball into Savannah Fitzpatrick. It's a long corner. New Zealand have all 11 players in the Australian quarter at the moment. Taylor controls it, only just. Oh, good play by the baseline. Here's a chance. And New Zealand get out of it. They get a free hit. Oh, gee, that was a close call. Oh, hello, there's a card coming here. Oh, it's a yellow card. Mariah Williams has been yellow carded by Amber Church. I wonder what that was for.
She must have had something to say about that call.
Yeah, 5-minute yellow card it is. Amber Church just running to the in front of us now, signalling a 5-minute yellow card, and Charlton's just played it onto her foot there. Well, that's a big call, isn't it?
It's a pretty crucial time to also have a bare play down. I think at the moment, like Australia, seem to be a little bit getting the better of New Zealand at the moment, but obviously they'll struggle now with one player less.
But New Zealand can't rest on their laurels because Australia continue to come forward and have made a really good start as Maddie Fitzpatrick can't hold the ball, and Thompson, that was a good steal from her. Mickelson feeds Thompson, who'd continued her run up the sideline. Thompson swings it back to Whitelock. Now Megan Hull just sneaking onto the field. Gives it to Smith. Smith tries some fancy footwork. Wins a free hit. Wilson concedes the free hit. So Australia playing with 10 players. Smith and Charlton can't combine there. So for about another 4 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes, that Australia are down to 10 players. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you as Smith looks to effect a tackle. This is a good run coming forward here from Taylor, but she couldn't keep the ball, Renee Taylor. Oh, but she's stolen it back, Renee Taylor. That's good work from her. Malone the target of that pass. And Malone looks skyward. Another half chance could have been created there. Thompson. Whitelock over to Dickens. Mickelson. Good ball from Dickens to Mickelson as Mickelson sweeps it over to the other side. Katie Dorr covers from that first touch, and Davey to the baseline. Marked by Hayes. Taryn Davey. Long corner's the call by Kelly Hudson, the umpire. Now Katie Dorr. Whitelock. New Zealand playing with 11 and Australia 10 rather, as that's swept along the carpet there by Hull. That's been deflected out for another long corner. This is good for the Black Sticks.
Some good transferring and good use of the width. We just need to possibly try to get it into the circle a little bit quicker.
Free hit conceded by Shannon.
New Zealand could be a little bit more direct on their transfer. Have a look to see what's in there.
Pearce, the captain, back on now. Hustled off the ball by Dorr and by Smith. Here comes Kelsey Smith. Crashes it in, and Mary again. Just the length of a stick away from getting the touch on it.
And good teamwork there. You know, the New Zealand girls just double teaming the Australian girl, forcing that turnover, and almost creating, you know, a shot on goal.
Whitelock. Back to Hull. And now Dickens. Mickelson wants it quickly. Now she'll leave it for Dickens. New Zealand leading by 2-1. And another very tight match. Hull. Gunson, who got that second goal in the third quarter. Katie Dorr at the top. Oh, it's just eluded her, but it was illegally taken away by Caitlin Nobbs. Maybe back at the stick. Here comes Dorr again. And Australia get that free hit. Smith brings it down to the carpet nicely as Dorr hauls it across to Gunson. Mickelson on her right. Mickelson now can run at defenders. Oh, this time though she hasn't got through, and in the end it is Barden who's got the loose ball, but Dorr again doing some good work there for New Zealand. Australia still have Mariah Williams on the naughty chair on a yellow card. There's Shannon. Mickelson almost getting it, and she gets the free hit as Shannon takes it quickly. And there's a free hit.
Well done to Australia. It's good defence there. Just managing to keep the New Zealand girls out of the circle. Making those tackles outside the circle.
Well, it's been turned over and Mickelson's got it again for the Black Sticks. Little lovely pass to Mary, who almost caught up with it. But again, great idea by Mickelson.
Yeah.
Try and bring Olivia Mary into the game. Even though New Zealand haven't played a Pro League game for 14 months. Olivia Mary is still the top scorer in the Pro League at the moment.
Australia back to 11 players now.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Cherie. I knew we had you here for a reason. Here's Shannon. Is gonna, big chance here. She crashes it in. Oh, great stop there. And it's off Shannon's stick. So no luck there for Shannon. In fact, Gunson it was. .6:20 to go. Australia hunting for that equaliser with Mariah Williams back on the field now after that 5-minute yellow card. Now Squib. Good pass. This is Savannah Fitzpatrick. Hull will get that vital touch, and it was really well kept in by Taryn Davey, and New Zealand get the ball. Good work by the New Zealand defenders there. Dorr and Davey on the right side of the pitch. Hope Ralph back out there now. So too Julia King, who got New Zealand's first goal in the second quarter. Katie Dorr in space. She can come forward now. Sweeps it across. Oh, she just didn't quite get that angle back towards her teammates. Five minutes to play. New Zealand hanging on to this one goal lead at the moment. Even though Australia haven't been down and attacking too often, Cherie, you wouldn't count against them yet.
No, they've got the ability. The same as in the last game, they managed to come back to get that equaliser, so New Zealand needs to be very careful.
Remember, New Zealand did lead 2-0 in that second game on Friday night, but conceded 2 goals to draw it. This is a 4-match series. We'll be back here on Tuesday night with the 4th and final game. And don't forget, at 3 o'clock, we've got the men's game coming up. So still plenty of hockey to come in this series as Hull. Back to Kayla Whitelock. Cadell. New Zealand just happier to play more of a holding game, just a touch more in this fourth quarter as Cadell now as they come forward. Oh, it's a lovely little flick pass. Charlton hovering out here on the corner and then couldn't get it to Thompson. King and Cadell putting pressure on. So too Pearson. Charlton up there too. As Australia try and find a weave their way through that strong New Zealand defence. Kittel almost got it. Whoops, picked up beautifully by Ralph. Pearson there too, Ralph. Oh, it's saved by Lynch. That's out to turnover in hockey. Quickly transition.
Three minutes to go, so New Zealand will want to just hold the ball up in their attacking 25. They won't want to let Australia, be able to outlet the ball, put that pressure on.
One touch pass there from Australia. Oh, there's a great little stick from Katie Dorr. Oh, and then Pearson couldn't keep it in field. So Australia get a chance to bring it down over the halfway line for one of the rarer times in this final quarter. There's Whitelock and Davey get tangled up. Now Australia. There are only 4 or 5 players up towards the New Zealand quarter. So they have to go back a little bit. Here's a chance. It's through Thompson's stick. Here's a chance for Australia. Saved by O'Hanlon and equaliser. Rosie Malone has got it. And we touched on the danger that Australia possess, even though they've been a bit quiet in this quarter. Yeah, they can take their opportunities. Rosie Malone has got the second goal of the series for her. Once it went through Thompson's stick, it was all on, wasn't it?
Just a slight mistrack there. Great shot from Australia, and again, good finish. Unfortunately, couldn't quite clear the save.
So over it goes, Thompson's stick there. Good aggressive shot there from Taylor. O'Hanlon couldn't get back there in time for the rebound. But Malone was there. 2-2. Here we go again. What a finish coming. 2 minutes to go. Who's got one more, maybe 2 more opportunities in the game? You just don't know who's going to capitalise here. Wouldn't it be incredible if Australia come back with 2 goals in the last 3 minutes to pinch this one? Here's their chance perhaps. Chalker at the edge of the circle. Good solid tackle from Hull, and it's excellent work from Megan Hull.
Yeah, well defended there from Megan Hull there.
So Dickens over the ball. Oh, loose pass to Charlton, who can't catch up with that one.
Just need to hold, New Zealand needs to hold the ball.
Oh, Mickelson. Now, Shannon there. Charlton as well. And Mickelson wins the free hit. As New Zealand come forward, Charlton's going to take it. Here comes Thompson coming forward. She can't link up with Rose Cadell. Are we going to have our third draw
I know, I was just thinking that.
in the series?
Again, 1 minute to go.
Well,
it's a repeat of game 2.
It really is. Or will one of these teams pinch it? We've got 60 seconds left. New Zealand steal it through Cadell, and she passes to Mary. Mary plays it forward to Olivia Shannon. Shannon into the circle. It's going to be a long corner.
Well defended there by Australia. That's a good patient tackle.
45 seconds. Gunson. Dickens. Smith is back out there. Here she is on the left. Kelsey Smith. She crashes it in, but no one near that one. Well, if we do end up with a draw here, Cherie, that means it's a winner-take-all game on Tuesday.
Game 4. It's been very even. It'll be interesting to see what the position stats are, but certainly both teams have had opportunities.
15 seconds. Oh, it's been taken away here by Smith. One last chance, perhaps. And again, New Zealand could get a deflection on it. And that'll just about do it, you'd think. With time almost up. Australia seem happy for the full-time siren. And there it is, the third consecutive draw between these two teams. They can't be separated again. Another cracking game of women's international hockey here in the Sentinel Homes series. It's finished New Zealand 2, Australia 2. Well, Fitzpatrick took the lead in the first quarter. Australia led after the first 15, 1-0. Then King equalised before half-time. It was 1-1. Gunson got the goal in the third quarter. In fact, we had 4 goals in the game, 1 in each quarter, all the way through as the teams rotated the goals. In fact, they didn't rotate the goals. Gunson, of course, put New Zealand in front 2-1 after they trailed. And then Rosie Malone with that goal to finish 2-2. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
And holding me back.
History has not been kind to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final.
Both strikes! India, incredible!
Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
So 2-2 the final score here in Palmerston North in game number 3 of the 4-match series between the Vantage Black Sticks and the Australian Hockeyroos. Let's get some full-time reaction now. Sheree Phillips has the Australian captain of the day with her, Brooke Peris.
Well, Brooke, what a great finish to that game. What's going on in your head right now?
It was a great intense. I thought today was much better than the first 2 games. I thought that us personally, I thought we settled into the third game a lot easier, and the game opened up for both teams. And when we play New Zealand, it's always like that. It's always head-to-head, and it's such a great game.
So looking forward to the last game. It's a must winner takes all now. What are you going to try and improve on for that last game?
I felt like we are in our attacking circle a bit more, and we just need to make sure that we take those opportunities and put the ball in the net. It's easy said and done, but that's our job here, and we got to make sure that we put pressure on ourselves to do it.
Well done, and good luck for the last game.
Thank you so much.
So Stacey, what are your thoughts after that game?
A little bit of deja vu, I think. I think the pleasing thing is that we really stepped it up in the second half. The energy we brought and the way that we pressed them was a huge step up, and that's the style that we like to play as Black Sticks.
And much better outletting today. You are managing to actually transfer the ball, finding that space. Again, just finishing for the next game?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably just our option taking, not necessarily just in the circle, but around the attacking 25. I think we probably just missed a few connections there.
Yeah, I think so. So well, good luck for the next game and all the best.
Thank you very much.
So there we are, Stacey Mickelson, the captain of the Vantage Black Sticks. So all on now for Tuesday's 4th and final match. The 3 games being draws between the women. Let's check out the second half highlights. This is the first goal from Ella Gunson that put New Zealand in front 2-1 in the third quarter. Gunson's 11th goal in her long career. She's been in the team for over 10 years, Ella Gunson. And the delight playing to see. And then here's the equalising goal near the end. Just over Liz Thompson's stick there. And the Australians took full advantage with Rosie Malone getting the second goal of the series for her. Over the stick, and then a nice, strong, aggressive shot there from Renee Taylor. And the rebound put in by Malone, which finished the goal-scoring action. Possession actually favouring New Zealand slightly in the end, but the rest of the stats, just like the possession actually, pretty even once again between these two very evenly matched teams. So we look forward to the fourth and final game on Tuesday night between the Hockeyroos and the Black Sticks. But stay with us. In around 20 minutes, we'll have the third game of the men's series between the Black Sticks and the Australian Kookaburras. We'll see you in about 20 minutes.
The Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series is proudly brought to you by Sentinel Homes and Hockey New Zealand in association with Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, and Sky Sport, your home for hockey.